Let me see why. Properties Yeti. Let me know if you can hear me on YouTube. I mean, I could see it picking up volume. Oh, it's back. All right. Thanks, guys. There we go. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so let me let me go through. Let me go back to this again. I'm gonna pull my my scanner, our trade idea scanner, back onto the screen here. This is kind of what I was showing you guys when I first started the stream, except I was trying to give you guys audio along with it, and that didn't work. So basically what I was telling you guys is this is our trade idea scanner. This is something that we share every single day with our members. A lot of you guys who are members are used to seeing this. Some of you guys might use trade ideas and not be a member and you're used to seeing this. But this is kind of our custom gap scan setup. So what I do is the first thing every morning I go through, I look at the size of the gap, I look at the float, I look at the amount of volume in the pre-market, because it's very important to have volume in the pre-market. You want to see stocks that are actually changing hands as well as having a nice gap up. Short interest is nice to look at as well. This will show an estimated percentage of short interest for a particular stock. So the higher number here, this is the more potential shorts that are going to be forced to cover or are already covering on this type of a short squeeze causing this gap. The next column over here is the average 10-day volume for the stock. So if you see that the 10-day volume is a much lower number than this column over here with the volume on the right, this is going to tell you that this stock is really popping compared to what it usually trades, because this is already pre-market. This is like the average daily 10-day volume. So kind of interesting to compare those two. StockTwits relativity or relative activity, something to take with a grain of salt. Obviously there's going to be a lot of silly posts on StockTwits. Oh, guys, just so you know too, you got to pick one that you want for volume today, because I'm streaming on YouTube and I'm also streaming on join.me, our trade idea scanner. So if you're on join.me, turn your volume down on YouTube. A little PSA there. Don't have volume on YouTube. If you're listening to me on join.me, that's going to drive you crazy. So back to this, StockTwits. If you see a high social media sentiment where all these messages are coming through, might be something to kind of take into consideration, that a lot of eyes are on these particular stocks. So, it's just an idea, kind of let you know where are the masses looking at. StockTwits is a very, very big service with a lot of users. So if you see all these messages, it's kind of something to pay attention to. And then in the very last column, you have that I pay attention to really closely is the average number of prints. So that's the the number of trades. So it's not going to tell you how many shares. It's going to say how many actual transactions were there between buyers and sellers, in an average day-to-day basis. So, highly traded stocks like ENDO, which is on the gap scan, which has a high short float and has volume pre-market, that makes it an interesting stock. Even though the float is gigantic, it's still getting a lot of trades per day, so that shows us opportunity. So keep an eye on that. So I'll take that off for now. Let me move this off to the side and get this out of the way. Oh, where'd that go? Okay. So, as I was saying, for the people on join.me but not YouTube, this is my Fibonacci retracements on Able. I'm looking at major and minor Fibonacci retracements levels to kind of get an idea where Able may move today. And what you can see right here is I've got some price levels. So some of these are major and some of these are minor. And the minor retracement levels and major are going to be potential magnets for price that we're going to look at today. Able, I think, has a nice, it's got a decent setup pre-market. It looks like it's trying to do an inverse head and shoulders, maybe an ascending triangle. So that's something we're going to look at for this pattern to kind of play out. So Able is definitely on watch today. You can kind of see it's got a bit of this triangle, ascending triangle, you know, testing the high a day again. Let's go through them really quick because we've got about 4 minutes before open, and I killed some time with no audio for you guys. SBBP made a high and has been really selling off since. Now it's kind of in a potential descending triangle, maybe a falling wedge right here. So watch this falling wedge for a breakout, you know, once it pulls back. Guys, on my charts, I've got 1 minute. Let's get back over here. I've got 1 minute on this side, and I've got 5 minute on this side. And these are both pretty much my main charts that I use to make my trading decisions. Once the market gets started, you know, I use the daily and hourly charts to kind of find, you know, what the daily candlestick setups are like, where's the daily moving averages. But for the most part, I'm using a 1 minute and a 5 minute chart to make my trading decisions. So that is SBBP. Now let's look at ENDP, which we mentioned already. Looks like great earnings reaction, great gap up, consolidation right now, kind of below the 9, the 50, the VWAP here. And we're going to wait and kind of see what this does. Is it going to trade underneath this trend line? Is the 200 SMA going to pick it up? Is this going to form a big symmetrical triangle? Who knows? Too early to tell on a pattern on that one. So I'm not liking the pattern on ENDP right now. MTBC, this is something I've charted a little bit already. It's got kind of this really wide ascending wedge on the hourly chart, and it looks like it kind of wanted to peak up here around 550 and has since pulled back a little bit. But there's not a lot of volume on this one, but I think it's still worth watching because this one has been a good former runner. And let's see, let's look at FCSC. And this one gapped up, but really no volume. This one doesn't really do much. I'm not too... It's already kind of gapped up to where it gapped up last time and pulled back down. It hasn't gotten a lot of volume, really any days. But earnings is pretty close. Let's see, earnings is tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that for, like, who knows, leaked news, rumors, what have you. Lastly, before the bell, I'm looking at NPTN. This had a great day yesterday. Moved pretty strong throughout the day, pulled back. We were actually watching this for a short. We got that short pullback to the 20 EMA on a 5 minute. Let's see on the 1 minute, you could really see it right here. This had made a double top, and after that it just kind of sold off, got below VWAP, inverse head and shoulders, but then it just traded sideways. So now we're seeing this gap up a little bit again. This could be a really nice day 2 run for Nancy Peter Tango Michael Alpha Phonetics, which Lucian hates Alpha Phonetics, but I love them, so you're going to hear me use them a lot. So that's pretty much it on what I'm watching. I'm going to be watching the Momentum High a Day scanner as well and seeing how that goes, see what pops up on that. I'm also going to be watching our VWAP crossover scanner quite a bit for potential setups there. And we got the bell ringing, guys, so here we go. Let's go back to Able because I really liked the pattern on Able. So here we go. Able right at the bell. Getting a big buy. 200,000 shares bought. Breaking out of this inverse head and shoulders ascending triangle. Wow, that was very quick. So let's keep an eye right here. We got the 9 and 20 pretty close. Nice launch pad. 566 is fib resistance on Able. Want to watch the level 2 to try to get a good entry if that's something you're going to try to trade to this 566. Let's see if it hits it. I typically never buy, full disclosure, I never buy the first candle. I might buy in the pre-market at a level right here with a pattern like this, but I never buy this first candle because the second candle can often pull back all the way down and kind of flush you out. And that's something we don't want to see happen, especially beginning of the day, taking a large position on an opening range breakout can make or break your morning. So let it pull back a little bit. So Able hit the high a day scanner pretty quickly. So here's what we're talking about right here. That second candle. That's where a lot of people bought in the pre-market, taking a little bit of profit after that first big green candle, and now you got your second green. So this is where a lot of people are going to want to enter on this candle. And I know there's a delay, but for join.me, you guys are hopefully getting this quick. If there's an audio delay, I apologize. So taking a look at some other stocks, kind of off on the side, but I'm liking Able to a 566 level. And here we go. Let's see what it does right here, guys. Also, what you want to do, once this really starts to run, this is what you need to do next. And I mean every time, is you need to find the top channel resistance. And this is the top channel resistance on Able. We're going to stay on this one. We're going to be careful with it because it's up 82% already. So here you go. It's dojied a little bit off this 560 range. So it's starting to kind of respect this 566, but it hasn't broke it yet. You know, so watch for profit taking off the top of this line, in this this fib level. I'm not watching futures at the moment. Somebody in the trade room just mentioned futures. Oh, just got one of our trade alerts on INFN, so we'll take a look at that. Let me put futures over here on this chart and see what's going on. Yeah, it looks like futures are just doing their typical. Hang on, let me expand this here. Oh yeah, futures did take a nice little dump. Normally I am watching futures pretty closely, guys, to kind of see what direction the market is trading in today. So INFN, big date, big earnings. This one is moving up on volume pretty well. Made a high 931. Meanwhile, we've got ABIL still flirting with this 566 level. So watch the wicks, guys. Right now the wicks are telling you on Able 550. There hasn't been a candlestick close above 550 yet. So to stay bullish on ABIL, with the top of channel resistance here at 580, 573, 566, these are all very close resistance zones you need to watch for, and you really want to keep an eye on these candles. RSI's high, MACD, the lines are separated, but that, you know, don't worry about that. Use these lower indicators to confirm things, you know, once you see a candle. Okay, so now we've got that dragonfly doji, so here comes the flush. This will be at least a flush to the 9 right here, and you can see it right there, dojied right off the 9 on ABIL. INFN is still moving. I'm going to chart the daily chart on this one really quickly for you guys. Has not hit the high a day scanner yet, but it did hit our up in 5. It looks like it might have hit our up in 5 scanner, or it should be. So there we go. Big green candle on INFN on the daily, right to that 50 SMA, which is hovering around 927. So let's see if it starts to get above it. There's some fib levels to watch on INFN. Whoops. You know, so if you miss this whole opening move, you would want to set a limit order to try to get filled maybe at the 9 to see if you could get this move to this 566. But I mean, right now it was showing 552 as pretty strong resistance. So we'll have to see. You kind of have to have a tight stop at the 9 to try to go for this move. Maybe see if this is bull flagging a little bit here. See if this makes some kind of a bull flag. Trades in between these this kind of wedge flag, and then breaks out on volume with a nice flag pull. High a day scanner's kind of quiet. I'm looking at the scanners. Ooh, that's a problem. Hang on, guys. I'm getting this join.me pop up on my screen. Hang on, let's get this screen taken care of. Alright, so Able is still kind of flagging inside this flag. A little bit of a pullback maybe to the 9 EMA here coming on INFN. MTBC from our watch list right here. Not a lot of volume in the pre-market. High wave candle at the open. And now it's starting to get some volume. You're starting to see you know, good RSI oversold. MACD maybe starting to cross over, so maybe we can get a little bit of a run going here. But this is the pattern to watch out for, okay? This is the triangle or the pennant that this is in. And then we've got some trend lines here that I have drawn from an hourly standpoint to kind of watch out for. So we'll see if we run into those overhead. But keep your eyes, guys. If you're in our trade room and you've got access to our scanner, take a look and really take a look and see what is happening on the VWAP crossover scanner, the surging volume. Take a look at surging volume. Take a look at the high a day scanner. Always watching the halt scanner as well. Alright, guys, give me 1 second. I'm gonna close this before it keeps messing with our screen there. There we go. Alright, no more pop-ups. So MTBC's in this pennant right now. We'll have to see if this starts to break out of it. INFN really pulled back. Let's go back to Able. This is still in the flag right here, guys. So you're waiting for a volume trend, meaning where the volume is starting to trend up. And this is it. Okay, so here were all these buys right at the 9 EMA. Let's see if this gives it the push that it needs to get up to the top of this trend line and maybe test this 660. Kind of like an Able right now. I'm going to pull up Able on a 5-minute chart, and you can see right here we just started to form a new 5-minute candle Let's see if it forms outside of this flag. It's looking like it may. It is a pretty strong warning, David. That's right. Yep. No news on Able, but hey, this is the world of low float, sub $10 for the most part penny stocks. So right now it's not looking too hot. There were a lot of sells outside of this flag right there. I don't like this high wave candle, but that's just day traders selling this huge pop, right? They bought somewhere in this 9 around 530, 540, and they bought a lot of shares, and they took their hotkeys. And this is what I do, guys. This is my style of trading, is to buy inside of these flags, get it right at the 9 EMA or off of VWAP, wait for this huge pop, watch the level 2, watch the bid and ask really contract very quickly, and then sell the top of these candles. And then once you see the flush start to happen on the time and sales, see the bid and ask start to widen again and go crazy, that's where you want to get out, wait for another retest, and see if we can get out of this flag. I just shared the link for the private screen sharing, guys, in the chat room. So if you're listening on YouTube and you want to hop on join.me and maybe get a little better audio than YouTube, that's where you want to go. So Able still trading inside this flag. Looks like MTBC hit the high of day scanner, and there you go. So a lot of buy. 50,000 is a good amount of shares to be bought for these low float stocks. It's kind of like the minimum of what I like to see. And you know, when you see that kind of a buy at the resistance level after a 920 crossover, 50 SMAs right here, nice close above it. Even though it's a high wave green candle, there's a lot of volume. This is where you start to look, okay, is this going to break out further? I'm going to throw some fibs on this one just to kind of get an idea. I'm not going to throw minor fibs. I'm actually going to throw, let's see, I'm going to throw some Maber. Wow, this really broke out of this channel. So let's go back. We're going to have to go back long term. So this has kind of made a giant kind of cup and handle breakout on the weekly. So this one has some momentum. This can really push. MTBC can really push. I'm going to throw Able over here on the 1 minute chart. So here we go. So first wave looks like it kind of got completed on Able. It broke this right angle, so let's get rid of that. And now we've got this kind of tight channel. So let's see if this pulls back all the way to this bottom trend line. Here's the next part of the triangle. It's kind of right in here. Let me get rid of these two lines so you guys can really see these patterns. So there you go. This was a nice little run. Might pull back to here. Might trade this way. Want to see it get out of this triangle now and see if there's any other opportunities to buy in here. ABIL. ABIL is still inside of this. Whoops. Still inside of this flag. Right? All right, guys. Glad to hear some good trades are being made on Able this morning. So, lower indicators, volume, RSI, MACD, not really showing a good setup here, but what we see is some volume coming in after some tests of the 20 EMA, maybe potentially getting out of this flag that we've been in, this kind of consolidation flag, all these spinning tops and dojis. It's kind of a bunch of messy 1 minute candles. 5 minute on Able is not much different with this high wave. It's at VWAP on the 5 minute. And let's see, we've got, this is a new forming candle after a high wave. So it's really important that we form a good green candle after this high wave that closes above the high wave to give us an indication that we're going to move higher and potentially close above this 566. You could see we got above it briefly on a 5 minute and 1 minute candle, but we need to really get a close above this 566. I'm actually not too disappointed with this one, the way it's trading, because there's a good opportunity here to get this somewhere in this range right here. So you can see this trend line I just drew. It's right here on the 1 minute chart. It's over here on the 5 minute chart. If that pulls all the way back to that trend line and tests it, then that's a good opportunity to form a some kind of ascending triangle breakout, maybe a flat top breakout, and then test these higher levels. So glad to hear the audio is good on YouTube today. Usually we have, a really big delay, or it doesn't sound great, but that's well, actually not, you know what, no one really complains about it, but we often think that the join.me audio is going to be better. I'm going to move my microphone a little bit closer for join.me. I've got two different mic setups today. So if you guys are new, watching us for the first time on YouTube or in join.me, you joined us today, welcome. This is kind of what we do. We're teaching you guys patterns, charts, candlesticks. We know we're looking for movers. Showing you guys kind of how my style of trading with Fibonacci, hotkeys are very, very important to me to get in where I want to get in and get out quickly. I think Able is still squeezing, guys. I do. I think all of this, it's not you're not getting a big collapse. You had that high wave candle showing indecision, but a lot of people jumped in on this as well to hold it up there at the 9. Right now it's really just consolidating around the 9 EMA and VWAP on Able. Yeah, no, I know the audio is always clear. I just wasn't sure about the delay, if the delay is less today for some reason on YouTube. Audio is always clear because we're using the Yeti mics. These things are awesome. So here we go. Able, very low volume on the selling side, and now we're getting a big pop in volume. This 5 minute candle is trying to close above this high wave candle. That would be very bullish if it did. That's just candlesticks 101. Close price candlestick above a high wave after some consolidation and low selling volume, right? The volume trend was down. Let's get rid of this line. Volume trend was down, and now we're getting a breakout on volume. But again, we need this candle to close above this one. And it kind of didn't, but it was green. But let's see if we get some follow through here. Doesn't mean all hope is lost for Able yet. So here we go. I'm starting to like, I'm going to delete this flag. If I have a second, I'll clean up my charts. You can kind of see right now that this trend line right here is potentially holding right there, and that we have the potential for a ascending triangle flat top breakout here just below this fib level. Looks like it's potentially building. Getting a nice third green candle here would be really nice right at this level. But see how these buyers and sellers are respecting these levels, right? This is established resistance right here at 552. Ever since this, you know, doji over here, this dragonfly doji. See you, Signet. So really just focusing on these day trades, guys, for the first hour and a half or so. I've got a trend spider chart I'm going to show you guys in a minute of AVIL. There's going to be some interesting things on there to take a look at. Actually, let me pull that over here, get that ready. So let's see if we get a flat top breakout on ABLE. It's really holding this this 525, 550 range very tightly. Very tightly. Meanwhile, I'm kind of looking for what else is hitting the high a day scanner. If you guys see something, I know EMW in our trade room is watching. He's watching DDD. DDD appears to be breaking out pretty darn nice today above Fibonacci resistance. Great earnings, just moving. This one actually this DDD has been on a solid roll. On a solid roll since earnings back here. And even the last earnings was pretty good, if I recall. Yep. Really good. There was a member who had reached out to me to ask me about it, and he bought a ton of options contracts on it. He did really well on that, so that's nice to see. All right, so ABLE potentially starting to fail this ascending triangle pattern. It might just get bigger. It doesn't mean it's going to fail completely, but you got to watch for a flush. There's still kind of this support right over here. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to check the scanner, guys. It looks like the scanner just went black. Give me a second. Join.me back up. There you go. Okay, join.me should be back up. Yes, Creed, that is a sexy desktop background. Which actually, Lucian and I were up late last night working on the email to get those desktop backgrounds sent out to all you guys. So you're going to get actually 4 different desktop backgrounds with candlesticks and an ebook that we've been working on for many months. So let me know if you guys are back. Okay, cool. Red says we're back. All right, so Able still consolidating, kind of trading sideways. Not a lot of action for it at this exact moment. Let's show you guys quick. We've been talking a lot about Trend Spider. I'm going to show you guys a really cool system for finding, you know, mathematically generated trend lines for stocks like Able using a 5-minute chart. This was a daily support and resistance level that it was kind of getting above, getting below. Here's the big breakout. Here's the 50, the 100, and the 200 SMAs. Well, the 50's an EMA. You can see we're trading above all of those right now, and if I turn on manual tuning, we get all these trend lines right here. So there's a lot of horizontal resistance holding Able down at the 560s, 582, and that's all daily horizontal resistance. But the daily Bollinger Bands are way up here at 7, and because it's a low float stock, this thing could absolutely blast through all of these resistance zones and really start to push into this upper Bollinger Band level. So there's a lot more with Able. I'll show you guys that we could analyze with Able. I'll show you guys a little bit later. But I just wanted to show you, I have Trend Spider up, and I check a lot of these charts to kind of see what's going on with the AI, because the AI is very smart at finding these trend lines, and a lot of them sometimes I miss, you know, and it doesn't. So here's the big picture on AI, or I'm sorry, on Able. Still in this kind of megaphone pattern, overall megaphone pattern, and potentially breaking this flat drop wedge on volume. MACD's starting to cross over. This might be making a little push here, guys. Look at those shares being bought, gobbled up, over 100,000. Got to break this 550s, 560s range. Remember, there's a lot of horizontal resistance to break on Able. And if it does, it's a very strong sign. So let's see. Oh, there's all the wallpapers. Lucian put them in the trade room. So all of our candlestick patterns wallpapers, you guys can grab those from the trade room right now. Lucian just I think he put 3 or 4 of them. We have 4 of them, but I see at least 3. So thank you, Lucian, for that. Checking out some other movers. Let's kind of go through the list. I haven't seen Able break out yet and start another run, but that doesn't mean buying at this 9 EMA isn't a bad idea for the pop. This is how you manage risk. You buy at the 9 and you sell these pops. And this is looking like it might potentially break out. That would be really awesome to see, because I've been watching it for a while and I would like to get a trade on this. 5-minute is starting to show some strength. This 5-minute candle is about to close. Here it is. Here it is. This candle's about to close, guys. So this is going to break out. And we might be seeing a push to this upper trend line. We might be seeing a push to this upper trend line. And here we go. New high a day. $6. So worth the wait. Worth the wait on Able. You guys seeing this? On join.me, I know you're hearing it a little bit faster, but on YouTube, we've been talking about this for a long time, and there's that breakout. That's a 50-cent move, and then some. Right there. A lot of shares just changed hands on that candle. So now, we might flag again at this level for another 20 minutes, or we continue up. But this is breaking right now a lot of resistance that TrendSpider is showing me is in the 580s, 590s. A close above that was extremely bullish. TrendSpider is telling me the next resistance are at 620, actually it's got a buttload of lines between 620 and 642. But then we have our fib resistance up here. So, and I'll show you guys again briefly. There you go. Alright, so, whoops. My wide monitor got a little too wide. So that's what we're watching right here. But look at this close right above all these different horizontal resistance levels. That's extremely bullish. And here we go, guys. Let's get 660. Let's get it. So let's see, 603 half. This is a whole dollar resistance point, so we want to watch this obviously carefully. Let's see if it lets the 9 kind of catch up a little bit. Remember, these could flag a little bit here, but if you've got a good entry at the 9 EMA, I don't really see any reason to panic sell any of these candles right now, right? You bought inside the ascending triangle, waiting for the breakout. The breakout on an ascending triangle, really the best place to purchase it, to hop in on that trade, is when the ascending triangle gets close to the bottom right angle, close to the apex. And you can see right here, we didn't have far to go before this triangle became too tight. The price has nowhere to go but up if the bulls are in control. And here we go. So this might be the next flag, third candle. Let's see if this gets pushed up to 660. TrendSpider showing us a little resistance in the 630s to be concerned about on a 5-minute chart. But pretty glad that I stuck with this one today, because this is a great pattern to teach you guys and show you guys and to trade. It's probably I would say ascending triangles and descending falling wedges are my favorite. I do like to play reversals, but I really like these low float ascending triangle breakouts. They're incredible. So here we go. Let's get close to 660. Oh, it's happening, guys. It's happening. There it is. High day 660 right at the fib. Take some profit. People are going to take some profit a little bit here, but a close above 642. Let's see, a close above anywhere above 650 is actually pretty darn bullish, but you got to take some profit from this move. I mean, you have to. Now we're up over $1, and it's getting close to the top of this channel. Right? Zoom out. See it? Look at all these points of contact. You have to assume, if you like to make money in trading, you have to take profit, and you have to assume that all of these resistance points are valid. However, they could be broken. Anything can happen. Every moment in the market is different. Every pattern is not going to play out how you want it to, but this one has really played out the way we wanted it to. So we're happy. And the short squeeze is happening. And it looks like you guys are grabbing some of the shares. If you guys want to listen along, oh wow, look at this, guys, right to the top of the channel, right in it, So look for a tweezer top to form here and a little bit of a pullback. But this is the trade of the day so far, guys. 127% up right now. Guys, I'm going to check the screen share again real quick. Some of you guys were not able to get back in, so all right. You guys who couldn't get into the screen share, please try again for the trade ideas scanner. All right, so how high is this thing going to move? It's kind of staying right up above here in the 690 level. But you got a hanging man candle here. 660 is current support. Below that, you got 640 at support as far as horizontal support goes. There's actually a fourth wallpaper, Sagar, and it's the, let me see which one it is. So we got the bullish patterns, reversal patterns in black and white. Yeah, so we're missing a wallpaper. Lucian will post it when he gets a chance, guys, in the trade room. So, profit zone. This is a profit zone now on ABIL. Selling volume. Let's zoom in on these candles. Let me delete this highlight. You guys seeing it? See these candles? Hanging man, doji, another hanging man about to form. But it's holding 660, this fib line. It likes that right now. So the bulls are trying to hold this line. The bears are holding this angular resistance. What's the best thing to do? If you've already rode this, take profit. See if we get a candlestick close above 689, maybe confirming a further move. You don't want to get trapped though. If it you know, leaves a really long wick above it, that could be a problem. Seeing an inverted hammer. 5-minute candlestick right here, kind of showing this might be something to watch out for. Remember, on the 5-minute chart, the 9 EMA is all the way down here at 581. It's a long ways, guys. It's a long ways from $7. So do not get stuck with just a total flush all the way back to that. Right, guys? So this might be part of the flush. We'll see if this 9 EMA holds. Taking a look at the other scanners, see what we got going on. Let's look at MTBC. MTBC has just been kind of messy in that pennant. Remember, we drew this pattern. We connected this point, we extended it, connected these 2 points, extended it, fell out of the apex. Kind of messy, nothing too excited on MTBC. This one, I don't even know. I'm just going to take FCSE off. NPTN, we talked about this in the beginning of the day. This one's nice if you guys like those slow-moving grinders. This one certainly moves with respect to that as more of a slow mover. But you know, it's up 50 cents today, and it broke out of this kind of triangle right here. You guys see it? Connect some points down here. Connect it with this kind of influx of buyers. So you've got a contact point where you see price start to move again. Broke out of the flat top. Resistance here, And this thing has been grinding for, I guess, about 25 cents since the breakout. So that's NPTN. This one could still move $1 today. This could move all the way up to 9.16. So that could be having another great day, day 2. But really want to teach you guys this one. This is such a great example. ABIL today. And there's still some interesting buys going on here at the 9 EMA. But we've done one big wave, two big waves, third wave is in, if you count the pre-market. The 50% retracement level is this orange line up here. I'm going to show you guys on a daily chart what's happening. So over here on the right hand side, I've got a minor Fibonacci retracement targeting the 50% retracement level around 860. That's a loose target, but that's a very possible target if it really continues to bull. What we want to see, we've got, here is our 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. candle. We're in the 10 a.m. candle right now, which the 10 a.m. candle is showing a little bit of trouble. It's early, but it's below that 660. So we'd like to see a little 3 white soldiers set up on the hourly to take place. So take a look at those candles, especially if you're still long from a great entry level. Look at the other longer time frames to kind of get an idea on what might be happening, what to expect. Always expect the unexpected, but if you draw your trend lines right, you listen to your candlesticks, the patterns, you won't get caught off guard. You've got your Fibonacci levels drawn, your horizontal levels drawn, and you guys have TrendSpider, which if you guys go to any of the emails we've been sending out, you can get a free trial for TrendSpider, and we have crazy discounts for them where you guys can save 25% off the yearly. And TrendSpider is just an awesome teacher. It'll teach you candlestick patterns. You can highlight candlestick patterns. It'll highlight breakouts for you, different breakout zones, multiple breakout zones, and it'll tell you shooting star, bullish belt hold, evening star. All these different candlesticks are highlighted for you depending on which ones you choose to watch, which I just have them all highlighted, and they're going to keep adding more. So, but if you like dark cloud covers, if you like evening stars, hammers, this will find them all for you. Really nice. And eventually they're going to have a scanner that scans for candlestick patterns. So TrendSpider, they're a growing company, and as they grow, they'll make more money, and they will develop the heck out of it. They have such great plans for this this platform. So definitely check them out. If you get a chance, maybe I'll put a link on the YouTube video. And also what I'll do, TrendSpider. I just put a link to TrendSpider in the trade room as well. Alright, so Abel's still pulling back. Not surprised, top of the channel. Let's see if this consolidates, maybe forms another ascending triangle, maybe pulls back to 50 SMA or the bottom of this trend line. We don't know yet. We don't know where that's going to pull back to. So hopefully we took profit. If you're smart, you took profit at this trend line, because that's screaming take profit. Alright, so MTSL has an interesting chart set up. This, let me remove this. I've got some old notes. I'm going to clear this whole drawing set on MTSL. Here we got 645 down to about 162. Here we go. We got resistance around 223. 50% retracements around 403. That's that orange line. Is this an earnings? Nah, it's just a breaking out of a... Oh, excuse me. One sec, guys. Got some good news for you guys. I just got new headsets in the mail from headsets.com. So I had the FedEx guy banging on my door. That was a loud knock, but he really wanted to deliver those headsets because I had to sign for them, which is unusual. Oh, yeah, you know, we get a lot of Instagram models chasing us, paparazzi. When I leave my house, I have to put on a wig and you know, kind of a disguise. I've got a mustache, you know, a fake mustache and some really big sunglasses that kind of hide because we're kind of a big deal. We're kind of famous now. True story. So MTSL, worth keeping an eye on because it got some decent 50K. It got some decent shares gobbled up in this run. And I'll show you the chart. I'll show you the chart of MTSL. Here are some of the breakout zones around 190. And right now it's testing a daily resistance line right here. Let me turn the candlesticks off. It's kind of noisy. And the middle of the daily Bollinger Band is kind of around 220, 230. So there's definitely some room to run to the daily Bollinger Bands. I've been kind of playing with Bollinger Bands a little bit, especially on TrendSpider. Here's a 60-minute chart. So we've got some resistance right in this range, but this could be a good runner today. Looking at the chart setup. Let's see, let's lock this line. There we go. 210, 230. I guess I made you guys laugh with that one. So I ordered headsets for myself and Lucian. I mean, we have a ton of them, but Lucian lost his Presence, Sennheiser Presence headset, and it's a very good product. And I've owned one myself before, and I said, you lost yours, I'm going to buy one as well. Because clear audio is important. And it would have come in handy right now, because my other Sennheiser headset is dead. So, yeah, let's look at SBBP. This is still, someone just mentioned in the trade room, this is in a massive downtrend, aka falling wedge. Falling wedge starting to get tight, and as it gets tighter, I mean, it could go all the way, back. It's actually right at the initial breakout trend line. So when you see, here's a really important lesson for everybody listening right now. when you guys see EMAs pinching like this, you got the 9, the 20, the 50, the 200, all these moving averages pinching going into earnings, and then an explosive move, and then it starts to pull back, and you're like, oh my gosh, when's this thing going to stop? Because it's a penny stock, it might pull back all the way to the original breakout area, which, so just draw a trend line along the bottom of the original breakout, and that's what it did. It's going all the way back. So maybe it had good earnings to pop it up, but then they had a conference call, or they, you know, are doing an offering, they're going to dilute their shares or something, and then everyone's like, oh God, and they sell it. It goes all the way back to this trend line. Maybe we get a breakout on SBBP for a, you know, falling wedge breakout, and maybe it retraces and goes back to VWAP, but this is just pretty bad, so I don't know if I'd want to risk that one. I think that's a high risk trade. I like falling wedges, but I don't like high risk falling wedges, which this one's kind of looking like nobody's interested. So we still got ABIL on a 5-minute chart doing its thing and potentially pulling back to that 9 EMA, is starting to catch up to it. That 9 EMA might be a good re-entry. Keyword might. But you've got 1, 2, 3 waves of bullishness. This might be finished. You have to be prepared that this might be finished and might pull back all the way to this bottom trend line and lower and lower and lower. That's trading. That's penny stock trading. That's not, you know, we can look at something like Twitter. Let me look at a higher flow stock that's running. Thanks, Sagar, for that news. I figured it was something bad. I'm looking at the VWAP scanner, and I'm trying to find something with volume. That's higher priced. I guess this one looks all right. There we go. So here's another earnings gap up, pullback. Pattern is kind of a pennant triangle. This could be a potential breakout area for a bigger move. You know, it's all about the patterns. Let's look at the hourly chart. Look at the daily chart. So it is kind of trading above these horizontal resistance zones. Kind of a big maybe a big kind of cup and handle, maybe an inverse head and shoulders. Could be a couple different things going on here, but you know, we don't always want to trade these low float ones. If these low float ones that are penny and super volatile are not doing anything great, move up to something a little higher priced. Take a look at our scanner. We got a Bollinger brand scanner, we've got an RSI scanner, parabolic movers. You can look at stuff to short. We got a short scanner in our trade room, so you can go and look at Fossil. I mean, look at the setup short on Fossil is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Just while Abel's going down, we'll look at a 5-minute. So Fossil had earnings with up and down, total yo-yo, double top, 5-minute chart, bearish engulfing on the 5-minute. And so when you got that bearish engulfing back to support around 28.53 and it closed below it, you could have shorted this thing for $3, which I believe Fossil is still. Is Fossil easy to borrow? It has been in the past. see. It doesn't say. So look at Fossil. Fossil's probably going to make a double bottom all the way down 25 bucks. So once you got that 9, once you had this kind of established resistance zone on Fossil that it couldn't break at 29.43, 48, and then boom, a close, a big red close below the 9 EMA, and then multiple closes below the 9 and the 20, and then the crossover. You could enter short in any one of these candles and just ride this puppy. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of head and shoulders too, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder, break, boom. Now this might get a reversal off of oversold, but your reversal to be strong would need to break. This could be the down channel. This could be the down channel. You kind of have to see if it's going to break this 9, get back up, maybe chase the VWAP. This might be a good one to try and catch the bounce, potentially, because look what it did. Dropped all the way down to here, bounced again. This one's been like just kind of ping-ponging all over the place. So that's another example of a short opportunity that we like to show you guys these as well, especially on a bearish day where, you know, futures has been selling off for I can't see, hang on a sec. 28.62, you know, just a 10-point drop, but it's red. Futures are red on the day, so some of these bigger stocks are going to pull back. Ride the 9. Yep. So ride the 9 on the short as well. You can ride it on the long, you can ride it on the short. You guys have, some of you guys have watched my webinar for our members only that I put in our section. And make sure you guys, if you haven't, I know there's a lot of new members listening today, check out our members only videos. There's some really good stuff to help you guys trade. Honestly, I'm teaching you guys right now a lot of the stuff you need to learn to be a successful trader, which is patterns, candlesticks, you know, getting these fib levels, whether you use regular fibs or you use my fibs, which I teach you in our videos. I think mine are, no offense, a little bit better because there's more price brackets or ladders, I call them, or magnets to kind of help measure your risk and reward. But definitely take a look at that stuff. So here we go. Look, I mean, this thing's following through with the plan. It's pulling right back to the 50 SMA, right back to this trend line here, which is done 1, 2, 3 times. We'll have to see if it holds the 50 SMA VWAP. Otherwise, it might pull back to 566. Let's look at MTSL. MTSL, we were looking at this earlier, and what we had done is we had drawn this flat top ascending triangle, and it broke out on volume. I mean, you have to like that. You have to draw these patterns and then go, okay, my risk is the 9. I buy at the 9. If it holds the 9 and breaks this ascending triangle, that's a second great example of that today. Today's kind of just a really good day, guys. There's a lot of good opportunity in the market today. I'm not quite sure where days like this have been lately. They've been far and few in between with the consistency and the follow through. We're not typically seeing this much follow through. We're seeing lots of like quick gap ups, crash at the open, maybe get a reversal. But it looks like the small caps are doing really good. Let's see what the VIX is doing today. VIX is still I mean, a little reversal, but the VIX is still bearish. Very, very bearish down here. Head and shoulders getting lower and lower and lower. VIX might go all the way back down to this 850 range in the coming days. So keep your eye on the VIX. Look at fear. Look at the futures. Look at all these small caps running. It's great stuff. Minus Fossil. Fossil seed bounced a little bit off the bottom, but it's still bearish. It might go all the way back to 2470, and you'd want to maybe reshort at the top of this line, or maybe even the 20 EMA if it pops, or maybe it gets out of this channel and actually bounces a little bit. So ENDP, I haven't really talked about this one at all since the open, but here's another awesome. You can't watch them all. And if I put, typically what I'll do is I'll put, you know, I'll have a whole bunch of charts up, and I'll watch all these different patterns with 1 and 5 minute charts, or maybe just a 5 minute, 1 minute chart. But that doesn't make for good good teaching and good screen sharing. So I want to show you guys this stuff, but look at ENDP. Once it broke the apex of this triangle, similarly, you had a MACD crossover, RSI starts to shoot up, and look at all the volume. 300,000 shares has kicked this off into over $1, almost a $2 run on ENDP right now. I mean, there's a lot of things to choose from today. Look at that gap up. Let me make this smaller because you guys don't need all that. There we go. How many candles would I consider a consolidation? In a bull flag that's just like gonna rip and run, I look for like 3, maybe 4 candles. I like to buy the 3rd or 4th candle, but have a tight stop on the risk. I mean, look what happened with ABIL today. It started to, let me make this one chart. And let me get rid of all the studies so you can see candlesticks. Okay. So, with ABIL, it kind of made this big flag pull up. And then you got 5 or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles inside this flag. And it didn't break out. It just consistently consolidated. And what did I say about this trend line, guys? It pulled right back to it and got a little bit of volume pop. So, you know, this one didn't kind of traditionally bull flag like you would see on a quick power run where it would flag, boom, move up, flag, boom, move up. You know, it really consolidated. So consolidation, I don't really count it on candles except for fast moving bull flags. This one is really just moved inside of a triangle or an ascending triangle a couple times. Once, twice, and then, you know, and then it hit the top of this channel, and then that was it. So, no problem. So don't count candles really, per se. Don't get caught up in the number of them. Get caught up in the patterns of them and the trend lines that they're trading within. And look for a good setup. I mean, this has started to pull back to this bottom trend line. You kind of can see it much better on a 1 minute. But this might be forming some kind of inverse head and shoulders, and then maybe another pop up. I'm not going to count Able out and say that it's done for the day. I am noticing this. So if you wanted to take a little bit of risk, oops, I'm trying to remove all these trend lines. If you wanted to take a little bit of risk, you'd be buying in this trend line for this apex for a squeeze out, and your reward would be pretty handsome if it makes another run to the top of this channel. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times already. You kind of gotta watch. So you guys are saying MTSL. Yeah, MTSL kind of farted, right? It kind of could not break. It established a candlestick resistance level around 242. And let's see. Let's look at MTSL on a 5-minute or a 1-minute. Interesting. So the daily 542. Let's check. All right, I found a trend line. So sometimes I check a couple different charts. So here's MTSL. And MTSL hit this 60-minute trend line from TrendSpider, and you can actually create an alert and select breakthrough, touch, bounce, time frame 5-minute, name the alert whatever you want, put in a description, and then pick how many days you want the alert to last and how many triggers. But pretty interesting. You got a 5-minute chart and a 60-minute chart showing you trend lines on both, and moving averages on both. You can also add fibs on both, but this is kind of showing, hey, this is angular resistance on MTSL. So if I go to 60 and I go to daily and I get rid of manual tuning, you'll see there's that 60-minute trend line that's kind of holding it down. And the Bollinger Bands on the daily are right around 224-ish. Actually, no, I can't see because this is actually being blocked right now. So that's one thing I would like them to change a little bit, TrendSpider, is if you get rid of this green square, which shows where price currently is at. That would be helpful. But it's basically in the 230s, right where that trend line is. So that's kind of holding it down right now. So another reason TrendSpider is helpful for catching those. Maybe this forms maybe we're witnessing another pennant right here. It looks like we're getting some buys on MTSL. And we might get another ascending triangle here. We also have a megaphone pattern that it's trading inside of. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to add my 2 charts back. And it's not going to be clean over here, but let's do this. Let's put Able over here. And my Thinkorswim is lagging. There we go. So here we go. Able trying to break out of this right angle resistance, right? And let's keep MTSL up. MTSL pulling back. No moving averages right now, guys. I don't want to focus on moving averages and VWAP, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't, because they're very important. They're very important. So learning moving averages and, you know, understanding where they are, what they mean, how to trade them is a little bit easier, but they're a lot easier if you know candlesticks first and you know patterns first. Because you guys are going to see, as you guys follow these streams, and we will be moving these streams private to YouTube. Today we have them live on YouTube. You're following along with us. At some point very soon, they're just going to be pre-recorded, and you'll get our live day trading stream on YouTube later in the day. But our members will get the private link to it. So the people who are signed up with us for either $10 or per month or $99 per year will have access to us at that price in live streaming every day. Whether it's me, Lucian, David, Rose, we've got a couple other people on our team who are focusing on some other things right now, but we'll probably do streaming and more content for you guys in the future. But this is our last day before we upgrade to $50 a month, or $2.99 a year. So definitely want to hop in now, guys, before we up those rates, which we should be doing midday today. We got a meeting on that. So MTSL looks like, here we go, not holding that trend line. Weak bounce. And it looks like it didn't like this right angle here. Hang on, I'm going to add a little extra room to my chart here. Boom. There we go. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So MTSL, sloppy head and shoulders formation. ABIL still holding the trend line. And guys, you can talk about any stocks you want in the trade room. You don't have to. We encourage you guys to look at other stocks throughout the day. You don't have to follow what we're following or trading. Share information in the trade room. I see right now somebody's talking about another stock, and share a chart. Take a screen cap of your chart. Share it. Share the information. Say, hey, I see this popping on the scanner. I'm focusing on a couple stocks for you guys. For me to trade, but also for you guys to learn, because our number one priority is that you guys learn this so that you can become successful traders and see it in real time and follow along with your charts and learn these very simple. You guys can see I'm not doing anything with indicators right now, yet there's a lot of clear buy and sell signals that we're seeing based on these trend lines and charts. And that's what we want you guys to learn, and we're going to do it day in and day out for you guys forever and ever. So it's that is the plan, Stan. So I'm looking over my shoulder. These are not looking good to me now. You can see Abel is not holding this. So I'm thinking this is going to flush and probably actually take a good 50-cent flush if it doesn't, and test this trend line. Same with MTSL. I'm not liking the candlestick setup on that. I mean, we'll see if the bulls are maybe trying to hold this line. I could see like another support here, and maybe it's going out a little bit further, but it's starting to get kind of tight. We'll see if it keeps fanning out. It could trade sideways all day. It could trade in it could trade in this range right here for quite a while, maybe form an inverse head and shoulders and then break out. But right now it's kind of a little bit in no man's land. You're kind of, if you're buying in here, you got your risk to here and your reward to here, or maybe the high a day around $7 or candlestick 684. Just to give you guys some ideas. Ken, no problem. Thanks for your message. I like it. Yeah, Creed asked a great question. Thoughts on an EMA cross on a bigger time frame chart? Yes. So let's look at maybe like a 15-minute chart. Able is pretty much everything's crossed over on every chart. 15-minute hourly has a 920.50 crossover, and 4-hour has a 920 crossover. Daily on Able has a, looks like a 20 EMA crossed over the 200. It's kind of an interesting cross. But yeah, those matter. Crossovers matter because just look, go back and look at this daily chart and look what happened when the 9 and 20 crossed over the 50. Simple moving average. This has been trapped below it for the most part, all the way down here. And then it's finally pinched and pinched and pinched and pinched, and then finally pops up. So yeah, crossovers are great. Actually, for us to build our watch list, oh, here goes MTSL. For us to build our watch list, we actually do a lot of scanning for moving crossovers. We try to find them before they cross over, and play with the scanner to try to find those, or maybe they're already in play, but that provides a lot of good setups, these moving average crossovers. All right, so it looks like Able is squeezing a little bit out of this apex. Things to keep in mind. It's almost 11 o'clock. Volume is going to start getting lighter unless there's some parabolic movers. And you can see right here that 9:30 to really 10 o'clock has been the best, really the best price action for a lot of these stocks that have moved today. NPTN, same thing, right to about 10 o'clock. So 9:30 to 10. So for you guys who are kind of part-time warriors, kind of coming in and trading for a little bit in the morning and then going off to do your job, you can do all that stuff. You can trade the first half hour and then get on with the rest of your life and be done. And that's all just a matter of you guys mastering these patterns and these setups, and then you can kind of do your own thing. So, and it takes practice. It is not overnight success, but if you guys spend the time, even just a half hour every morning, if you got it, to study these patterns and these breakouts, you can move on and do pretty well. So there's always other movers, throughout the day, but most of the volume is going to be before 11 o'clock. And so that's kind of something to think about, especially for the low float small caps, unless we start getting into back in the habit of seeing these consistent movers throughout the day, which should start to come more in the fall. You'll see things start to pick up and really stocks move heavy in the morning, but then grind throughout the day. Some of these low floaters will just grind all day. So we're really looking forward to that. Wow, nice. You guys are profiting pretty well on these today. I'm proud of you guys. MTSL, big moves today. Really, really big moves today. Able, big moves today. MTSL held this 223 level. Maybe an inverse head and shoulders kind of setting up. Got back in this trend line. Able, let's go back to Able. Still not really popping heavy out of the apex of this triangle. So, things are just slowing down now. MTBC selling off. VIX is kind of selling off. Let's see what ENDP is doing. ENDP is still grinding. completely grinding over $2.50, up $3.80 for the day. But look at this grinder. Just kind of riding the moving average, riding that 9 EMA. And it has not stopped. Yeah, so the options, there's more options talk in the swing trade room. And then there's futures talk in the futures room, of course. But we do have some enhancements and different things planned for you guys to flesh out the rooms. And maybe add some other rooms in the future, but we really want to build out our team. We've got great mods working on our in our Facebook community and working in our trade rooms, who are kind of becoming part of our team. So you'll see different things happening with that in the future. And Abel, there it is. There's the pop. So it finally popped. And that 860 level, I would say 850 to be safe, top of the channel is very possible with that kind of volume. So there's the volume kicker on Abel. And Abel is moving to the top of the daily Bollinger Bands here. So we'll see. It's had a habit of really springing up and spending some time up at the top of these bands in the past with some really good volatility. This is some really good, it's a really good kick to Abel. So this might be a multi-day runner that we want to keep an eye on. It'll probably go on the watch list tonight, especially if it holds its highs into the close. So we'll see what Abel does here. That was a nice kicker. Let's see if the momentum kind of carries it up either quickly or slowly up to this 860 level, top of this trend line. That would be really incredible to see. Kind of an inverse head and shoulders here. It's kind of crammed to see, but it was there. Guys, I'm probably going to end the stream here and hop back on a little bit later in the afternoon, most likely. Got some projects to attend to, getting close to 11 o'clock. I think you guys are under control with what we're looking at with Abel. Fossil still being shorted to oblivion below that target I was looking at. Maybe even back to the 50% level, all the way down to 20 bucks, $20.80. There's a bunch of different things to look at. You got SBBP breaking out of this wedge a little bit, might retrace a little bit. And then, of course, MTSL, NPTN, and ENDP is still moving. This could be a good short if you can short shares. It's got a very easy to borrow on Thinkorswim availability. So if this makes a high and flushes, you could get a really good, short entry on ENDP today. Right now it's a bull. Do not try to short the trend. The trend is up and has shown no signs of slowing. And it really, if you look at it, it's got this daily gap all the way back to, 25.50, right? And there's some resistance at 24, 23, 21, just to give you guys an idea of where major horizontal resistance is. But it's maybe 1770, who knows. So I've been getting a lot of phone calls as we're working on getting some stuff set up with the website. So I'm gonna let you guys go now. Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to head over, if you haven't yet, if you're just on YouTube, you've been following us for a while, great things are happening, lots of opportunity to learn, real-time streaming. Head over to the subscribe page and subscribe. You know, lock in the $9.99 or the $99 today before we go up, and you guys will have access to the day trade room, swing trade, futures, our alerts, our members only videos. I'll give you guys a sneak peek right behind here too. I'll click in and show you guys lots of stuff on advanced stuff on candlestick patterns, reversals, how I do trend lines, beginners, advanced trend line drawing, pretty much a lot of stuff on scanners, options trading, swing trading, day trading, all the good stuff. We share some of our indicators with you guys, and we share my custom Fibonacci retracement tool setup. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for joining. I'll see you guys on the other side.